Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this particular YouTube channel and this particular video. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to be talking about two cases. We're going to be talking about Travis Decker, where the manhunt continues, and then we're going to be talking about Grant Hardin, where the manhunt is over. He has been captured. On May the 30th, 2025, 32-year-old Travis Decker picked up his three daughters from their mother. Their mother, Whitney Decker, expected them back at 8 p.m., but they never arrived. She called the police late that night when she could not reach them. On June the 2nd, officers found Travis's white pickup truck near Rock Island Campground in Chelan County, Washington. Nearby, there were plastic bags over the girls' heads and zip ties around their wrists. Investigators believe that they were suffocated. Investigators said that Travis had searched online for how to relocate to Canada in the days before the visit, suggesting that he might have crossed the border. Records also show that he once lived alone in the woods for weeks, and his soldier training could help him survive outside. His last known spot was near a camp along the Pacific Crest Trail, only 11 miles from the Canadian border. Travis is a retired Army veteran and considered armed and dangerous by the Chelan County Sheriff's Department. More than 100 law enforcement officers, including the FBI, the U.S. Marshal, and the National Guard, have joined local deputies in a wide search. Travis is a retired veteran and considered armed and dangerous by the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. More than 100 law enforcement officers, including the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and National Guard, have joined local deputies in a wide search. Officials warn that anybody who sees him should not approach him but call 911 or the local tip hotline. Well, Mr. Grant Hardin has been captured. On the other hand, on May the 25th, 2025, 65-year-old Grant Hardin escaped from the North Central Unit Prison in Calico, Arkansas. Hardin is a former police chief from Gateway, and he was serving a long sentence for murder and rape. He was convicted of killing a man named James Appleton in 2017. He also raped a school teacher in 1997, crimes later linked to him by DNA. Known to victims and the public as the Devil in the Ozarks, his case was featured in a true crime documentary. Investigators say he walked out of imprisonment in a guard's uniform, and a gate was open for him without proper checks. Authorities realized that he was missing, and they saw an open gate and no guards on duty. The prison's bloodhounds picked up his scent at first. Heavy rain soon washed it away, so the officers expanded their search into the nearby hills. State police, U.S. Border Patrol teams, SWAT units, drones, and helicopters joined local deputies in scouring the rough Ozark Mountains. On June the 6th, after almost 2 weeks on the run, officers captured Hardin about 1.5 miles away from the prison.
The suspect in a triple murder case continues to evade authorities a week after his young daughters were last seen. I'm Jessica Janner Castro. Law enforcement agencies are looking for 32-year-old Travis Decker, who has been charged with murder in the deaths of 9-year-old Paityn, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia. Here's what we know about the timeline of the case. Travis Decker picked his daughters up in Wenatchee for a scheduled visit Friday, May 30th. Hours later, their mother reported them missing after they didn't return. On May 31st, police activated an endangered missing person alert for the Deckers. They remained missing over the weekend. On June 2nd, information led the Chelan County Sheriff's Office to search Icicle Road near Leavenworth. There, they found Travis Decker's truck near the Rock Island Campground. Law enforcement searched the surrounding area, and they found the 3 Decker children dead. Travis Decker was nowhere to be found, and police have been searching the area for him since. Sebastian Robertson picks up the story after police found the 3 sisters dead.
Travis Decker, a military veteran with extensive training, last seen in the Wenatchee National Forest. Prosecutors have charged Decker with the kidnapping and murder of his 3 young daughters, Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia.
That is definitely an individual that needs to be caught and dealt with according to the law.
The communities of Leavenworth and Wenatchee asked to stay on high alert as the FBI, Border Patrol, Homeland Security, and Sheriff's Office investigators combed the area near the Rock Island Campground. A deputy on patrol found his truck and then the children's bodies about 100 feet away. Police found key pieces of evidence near the truck, zip ties and plastic bags.
It's hard to imagine why somebody would do that.
What's the gift
If it's his children and stuff, it's a horrible, vengeful act if that's the case. He was taking it out on innocent kids.
First tonight, prison escapee Grant Harden is now in custody after a nearly 2-week-long manhunt. These are new pictures we were getting from the Arkansas Border Patrol as Harden was captured. Harden was located this afternoon near Moccasin Creek in Izard County by Arkansas law enforcement and U.S. Border Patrol after tracking dogs picked up on his scent. And new at 10, we're learning from Rand Champion from the Department of Corrections that Harden will now be housed at the Varner Unit, the most secure facility in the Arkansas prison system. It's also where death row inmates are held. Good evening and thank you for joining us. For your 5 News at 10, I'm Morgan Wrigley. Darren has the night off. We're continuing to follow the latest as the Stone County Sheriff's Office says that the public is, quote, no longer in danger. 5 News reporter Parker Abels is here right now with more on the capture. And what are you learning tonight, Parker?
Well, Morgan, Grant Harden was found today at 3:45, just outside a mile of North Central Unit in Calico Rock. And with Harden officially back in custody, I broke down what the last couple weeks has been like. On May 25th, the Devil and the Ozarks escaped from North Central Unit Prison in the middle of the day by using a makeshift police uniform and walking out the front gate. That according to the Arkansas Department of Corrections. And from there, the search began. For nearly 2 intense weeks, a massive manhunt unfolded with local, state, and federal agencies, including the U.S. Marshals and Border Patrol, mobilized to bring him in. Tips and possible sightings poured in from multiple counties, even spilling across state lines, adding to the urgency of the case. Since busting out of prison, Harden racked up new charges: escape from Izard County, an unlawful flight to avoid prosecution in the Eastern District of Arkansas. A combined $25,000 reward from the FBI and U.S. Marshals was on the table for any information that led to his capture. But now that he's in custody, it remains a mystery who, if anyone, will claim it. The ADC said Harden was finally tracked down near Moccasin Creek in Izard County thanks to the sharp noses of tracking dogs and the relentless efforts of the Arkansas law enforcement and U.S. Border Patrol. After his capture, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders said Arkansans can breathe a sigh of relief. The Izard County Sheriff's Department said Grant Harden was found around 1.5 miles north of the prison he escaped from, and his identity has since been confirmed via fingerprinting. We sincerely appreciate the continued support of the community for all law enforcement and Department of Corrections personnel involved in this operation, said Izard County Sheriff's Office.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.